my youngest is 9, and we homeschool all 3, primarily because my oldest, he's severely dyslexic, and so it's given us an opportunity to really work really well with him. And then you'll see this other little photo here. We call this my bat goat. We have a dairy farm in Tennessee, and so the reason I'm showing you all of this is because your leads are really where your fingers are going to be, and everywhere that you can influence different people is where your parties and your sales are going to come from. So the first thing we're going to talk about is getting leads away from home. So unless you're a hermit and you never leave home, you definitely are going to talk to people. And so really being ready when you go out of your home to get in front of people and share with them the Jamberry is really going to open up a great cold market to you. We're going to talk more about cold market here shortly. But always be prepared, always be sure you have a business card. Having samples on you is a great idea. I like to use the 7-day sample cards. If you're familiar with those, you can get them on Etsy, you can make your own. And the reason I like these is because it doesn't just give them your business card with a sample on it, it actually shows them how to apply, it gives them the application instructions, your website is on there. And this is just a really great way to up the chances of them having a good application. Another thing that I like to do is have a copy of my business card on my phone so that you can text it to someone that you run into. This is great if you tend to run in and you don't have your purse with you. I had this situation just the other day, and you can just say, give me your number and I'll text you my business card. My website is on there, and then what is great about this is it gives you the opportunity to follow back up with them. So you can message them and say, did you get a chance to take a look at my website? Do you have any questions? Would you like to set up a one-on-one? Also the Smile Challenge. This is something that I like to do personally because it is outside of my comfort zone. When I go into the store, typically I want to just get in and get out and avoid all eye contact as much as possible. But we are in a people business, and so really being able to make eye contact with people, smiling. So I make it into sort of a game. When I go into Walmart, there's all kinds at Walmart, and you can go in and just start smiling at people as you're walking down the aisle and say hello to them. And when you do this, you're going to either get a strange look back, or you're going to get them smiling back at you, and then you can even say hello, and sometimes it goes on from there. And then also make sure, we've talked about this already today, but make sure that you're wearing your nail wraps or your gel, whatever you like to wear. Never go out naked. You pass so many opportunities up by not wearing your product, because if you're not wearing your nail wraps, how are they going to know to comment or to say how great they look? And then your elevator speech, we have a really great lesson in GMU about this. The elevator speech is basically just what comes out of your mouth quickly and easily when somebody notices your nails. So for example, if you're standing in front of someone at the checkout line and she says, I love your manicure, what do? Do you freeze up? Or does something come out simple? So for me, just my personal line, I know my team manager, Joanna, is here somewhere, and she actually helped me with this very early on in my business. And what I say when someone notices my manicure, all I simply say is, thank you, I did it myself. And that comes out so easy, so comfortably. You're not saying, great, I'm a Jamberry consultant, here's my card. It's just a very easy transition, because they're going to either say nothing and you just keep on going, or they're going to say, really, how did you do that? And that's going to give you that opportunity to speak more about your product. Generating leads online. I love Facebook. I would say that is primarily where my business takes place. Mostly at, because we are somewhat new to our area. I'm still working on getting into my local connections and having home parties and working on getting events. And so I really focus on online, because I do have, our military family, we've got our homeschool families, we've got dyslexic situations. And so really getting online is something that I spend a lot of time learning. So how many of you would say that Facebook is your #1 way to party? I was going to expect that. It's so easy to us. We can take it with us everywhere we go. And how many of you would say that you log into Facebook 10 times a day and you do this? You just scroll down, you read the comments, you look at the pictures. So I call this the Facebook scroll. We need to stop doing the Facebook scroll. What I recommend my team is to comment on at least 3 posts every time you log in to do the Facebook scroll. Because this is an income generating activity. This is an opportunity for you to make connections and build relationships with people where you're going to be able to start seeing more of their Facebook pages, and you're going to build that connection. We're going to talk more about the Facebook algorithms. Facebook algorithms can drive you crazy because they really decide who is going to see what you are showing. And so if you can boost your Facebook algorithms, you're going to increase your network and you're going to get more leads. So for an example, one way that I will boost my algorithms is I will post something that people like to comment that's going to elicit answers back to me. I would say there's really 3 categories that people like to talk about: their children, their pets, and themselves. So if you ask questions and you say, you know what, I'm potty training my 2-year-old, what's the best tip that you can give me because I'm going crazy? You are going to get responses from women that have been there and done that and want to help you. And what this is doing is it's telling Facebook that, you know what, I'm a friend of theirs, I want to see their posts, and vice versa. And also, you know, using your nails as props. We had, back a few months ago, I don't know if any of you saw it, but we had a really great training on taking tasteful selfies. You know, and you can be on Facebook without having to be salesy, posting pictures saying good morning and you're holding a coffee cup and you've got a really cute nanny on, without saying, and check out my nails. You know, they are checking it out because they see your picture. And the law of attraction, that just simply means, what are you doing that's making yourself stand out from other people? What is it that's drawing people to you? For me personally, what I found is that people are very interested in the changes of my life over the last 8 years. My husband going from a non-military family to military, having, you know, our youngest son, which actually brought about a disease that I deal with every day, and then finding out my son was severely dyslexic and homeschooling. All these things have drawn people to me to make them say, I want to keep following her, I'm interested in her life. And so what are you sharing on Facebook that's going to draw people to you? Okay, so parties, we're obviously a party plan business. We've talked a lot about this already, and so I'm going to just kind of quickly go through this. But the full service checkout is my favorite way to work in my parties and to continue to build relationships and to get leads. So full service checkout just simply means that you are contacting each of the buyers, each of your customers, and you're helping them to complete their order. I do invoicing. And then, you know, you can also even just help them to pick out their designs. But personally, I would say 90% of my sales are in invoicing. And this really gives you multiple ways to connect with your customer, because what happens is when I do invoicing, I have to have their personal information. I have to have their address. I have to have their website, or I'm sorry, I have to have their email. And so I have to send them a personal message. Well, with Facebook, you know, if you send a personal message without being a friend, then it's going to go to their junk or their other folder. So when I do, anybody that is going to order, I will send them a friend request. My Facebook is really very much about my business, and so I'm okay with that. And so I'll send them a Facebook friend request, and when they place their order, whether it's through invoice or not, I always post a thank you to the party for their order. But then I also want to send them a personal message and say, I personally wanted to thank you for your order. This opens up the beginning of relationship building and a trust with them. I do the 2+2+2 follow-up system that we talked about, but I do it sort of on steroids. So I'm going to kind of explain that to you just so you kind of understand. I feel like it's really important to have lots of points of contact with your customer because you're building a relationship and you need to build it strong to keep them coming back to you. So I've already sent them the friend request. I've already thanked them personally for their order. The next step I'm going to do is when I see that their order has shipped, even though Jamberry sends that email, I still want to make sure that they know it's coming. So I send them a quick message letting them know that it's on its way, and then I will follow up with them to make sure that it's been received. I'll ask them if they have any questions. And this is many times where when they say, I have my order, and I'm excited to use it, you can help them with application, then this is where you want to really work on getting them into your VIP group. Getting them into your VIP group is probably the most important thing that you can do as far as keeping a customer, because this is where you're going to continue to build your relationship. You're going to continue to put products, so even if you're not messaging them at the 2-month mark, they're still seeing product. And then my return customer rate is very high because of this. Also, making your VIP group something special, because when you want to talk to them about coming to your VIP group, you want to make it sound awesome. Okay, so you can tell them we do a drawing every month for everybody who orders, or I have a VIP punch card, or we do this or that. What is it that your VIP group, why is it special, and it's going to make them want to come and join you there? Okay, so cold market, I know that tends to scare most of us. The cold market, if you're new, what that means is this is the group of people that are not your normal friends and family. So one thing that I suggest to my team is that you join different groups of interest that you have. And what I recommend is, you know, we have the list, the Frank's list, our friends and relatives. I also recommend that you make a list with your interests. And this can sometimes, for those of you that are managing teams, can be hard to get your downline to do, because most of us, you know, will say, well, I'm a mom, and, you know, what else? So really work with them to find out what are their hobbies and make a list of those things too. And then get in there and start joining groups. Don't post Jamberry in these groups. This is just about relationship building. So going in, making new friends, expanding your network of people. Because if you start your business and maybe it takes off great, and then a few months later, you know, everybody has what they need for a little while, then what? That's when your cold market comes into play. So you need to always be making friends. It doesn't matter if you're a consultant or you're an elite executive. You need to continue always expanding your network. I also recommend to my team that they make a friend every day. What this means is, you know, you're just building relationships with people in these different groups, and you are sending friend requests to those that you've hit it off with. Again, I don't recommend that you then send them a personal message and throw Jamberry on them, but what you're doing is you're relationship building, you're increasing that Facebook algorithm so that they will then start seeing your posts that hopefully you're sharing on your personal page. My timeline is also public. This is something that, you know, you have to be comfortable with. I primarily, you know, do Facebook for my business. I love my public timeline because I'm always getting new customers. I'll have several orders a month just from people that I don't even know where they came from, but then I can go and find them on Facebook, send them a friend request, and they say, oh yeah, I've been seeing your posts for a little while. Well, the only reason that they're seeing them is because my timeline is public. And then just continue building those relationships. The VIP group. I love my VIP group. Hopefully you have one. Most of my team members, what I recommend is that their launch group turns into their VIP group. When I first started with Jamberry, I didn't exactly know what I was doing, and so I just kind of went with it. I was actually a hobbyist. I just joined after a sample. I wanted the discount and didn't really plan to do anything else with it, but it took off from there. And so when I created my VIP group, I added everybody. Like, I don't care. If it was a female, they were in my VIP group. And so over the last year, I've begun to go through that group and erase people or, you know, remove them if they have not been in there, because the larger that your group gets, the less Facebook is going to show those posts, especially if they're not all commenting. So what I had done was I created a survey, and in my VIP group, I basically said, hey, we're under construction. If you'd like to stay, please fill out this survey. In this survey, I was able to book a lot of parties because that was one of the questions that I asked. I also was able to find out their favorites, and I was also able to get rid of the ones that didn't comment, that weren't interested, and this increased my algorithms with Facebook. You also need to remember that your VIPs that are there that actually came from parties, they already love the product, so now you're just going to sell the relationship to them. You're continuing that building. You can be active on their Facebook group or on their actual Facebook timeline, getting to know their kids, telling them happy birthday when they post that picture. And then what, again, makes your VIP group special? What is it that you are different from every other consultant? There's a lot of Jamberry consultants. How are you different? What's making them come back to you after they attend a friend's party with another consultant? Are they coming back to you? If not, you might want to step with your VIP group. I do the loyalty card, which is something that my girls in there really love. I think mine is 15 punches, and we do it digital, so I just go in once a month and I update everybody's card. And then we also do what's called a hashtag challenge. We posted a list of, I think it was about 40 different things, and they were to basically take nail fees themselves, so it's really kind of training them to be a consultant as well. And they can post it on their timeline with the special hashtag that I gave them. If they complete the whole challenge, they get a free wrap at the end of the month. And then this is also, I'm able to click on that hashtag, and I can see everybody who's posted that. So if you want to check it out, it's hashtag ChristinaVIP. And everybody that's in my VIP group that's participating, I can click on that and I can see what they've shared. So it's neat to kind of go back through that and see these people that are saying, why are you sharing all these weird Nelfie pictures of you holding pumpkins and holding cookies and hot cider and you know, what's going on? And so then they're actually sending them to me. Fundraisers have been a big part of my business. I love fundraisers. I love the nail art studio. It gives you that opportunity to be a blessing. And I try to do, I would say probably 1 to 2 fundraisers every month. And this is a great way to get into your cold market because you're helping one person that you know, but they're bringing you, sometimes fundraisers can get quite large. And so one of the other presenters had mentioned some great ideas for fundraisers. And one thing additional that I do is a lot of times there will be people in the fundraiser that can't afford to purchase, but they want to still help. And so I do a bonus in my fundraisers where I'll donate an additional $10 if they will book a party with me. And this gives you also a great opportunity to go to local charities and see where you can help there. I do a Ronald McDonald House fundraiser twice a year. We did a big Nourish blessing bag fundraiser for them. We sold $2,000 worth of Nourish by making up bags that we delivered at Mother's Day to the Ronald McDonald House moms. And then we also do around Halloween, we go and do fall manicures for all the moms that are there. And so we do another fundraiser event basically where we're just raising hostess rewards so that we'll have enough supplies to go and do the manicures, and then we send them all home with some goodies, whatever we were able to raise. And then recruiting. I'm going to have to go through this one quickly. Recruiting. Recruiting really needs to be a lifestyle. When you really recruit, you're kind of you're sprinkling that opportunity everywhere you go. It's just kind of coming out of your pores. And really consistency does matter, especially if primarily your business is on Facebook. People are watching you. Whether you realize it or not, they are watching you. For example, I had a girl join this month, and she had never bought Jamberry from me. And when I messaged her, she had actually messaged me first about joining. She said, well, you know, I've been seeing you doing this for over 2 years, and I'm kind of interested now. You know, and so even though she had never bought, she'd never been to a party, I just had that consistency with her. And then the 3 C's, I actually learned about this in a marketing book that I was reading, so I can't claim it as my own, but it's a really great way to work with primarily your hostess when it comes to talking about recruiting. So what this is, it's crazy, compliment, confidence. And so it goes like this. It's basically a sentence that you message to your hostess and you say, I know this sounds crazy, but you are an amazing hostess in your party. There's your compliment. Or you had a great manicure or whatever. And I really think that you would be an amazing consultant. There's your confidence. It's a sentence, it's a formula that works mentally with us that really boosts them up. And if it was something that they were not even considering, I've had hostesses join after that. And finally, I put up this little saying because you all know I was so scared to come up here, but courage is not the absence of fear, but the acquired ability to move beyond fear. You know, we all are afraid of different things when it comes to our business, whether it's public speaking or it is going and talking to that register cashier. And there's a great YouTube video. And if you want to write this down, you all may know about this, but who knows Shia LaBeouf? Have you guys seen this video? It's called Just Do It. So So write this down in your notes. Look up Just Do It by him. And when you need a kick in the pants to get out of your comfort zone and to just get out there and put your business out in front of you, take a look at his video. And it will make you cry, it'll make you laugh, and it'll make you ready to go and take on the world. Thank you.